The Play's the Thing, with your host, Judy Sleed. Special guest, the real Lee Davis. Underwritten by Taylor Michelle Cohen and NQ.com and Ingrid Lemming of Hamptons PR. Now here's Judy.
Oh, that was terrific, and now at least everybody could see who is behind the scene all the time, my director, the handsome Lee, and one and only real Lee Davis.
That's me?
Yeah.
Oh, what an intro.
Yes.
That was very kind of you.
Yes, and I'm so happy that you could, you consented to be my guest.
Oh, I'm honored. Thank you.
I wanted you to come and tell us all about you because you're keeping it a secret, all your background, what you've been doing all these years before you became my producer. Well, I see in your, this is a very modest write-up about yourself, and but it does say that you were born. I want to
One of my big
that.
faults is I'm very modest.
Uh-huh.
I am overly modest. And that's always been a problem.
How modest are you?
Terribly modest. I'm the most modest person. But then, let's go on.
Let's brag about
And I was born, so there we are.
Yes, you were born. And you are from Philadelphia.
Yes, I was born in New York City, but then my mom and pop moved to Philadelphia with me.
And they took you.
I was even smaller than I am now.
Yes,
Then.
and they took you with
Took
them.
me to Philadelphia with them. I was a little baby, totally out of control.
Yes.
And grew up in Philadelphia, went to school in Philadelphia.
And then you did even the university.
I went to the University of Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm. And you were
Went
in
into
the Navy.
Went into the Navy while I was at Penn. That was in 1943. Then I was in the Navy for 3 years. I came back to the university.
And what did you do in the Navy?
In the Navy, I was in communications. We ran radio station NDE in Peking, in Tientsin, China. Not Peking. It was known as Tientsin, China at the time. Now I think it's Tianjin. But I was in China for about 6-7 months, and it was just spectacular duty
Do you speak
for a
Chinese?
Navy guy. Do I speak Chinese? Only in restaurants. When I order spare ribs, that's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say.
No, I had a wonderful time in China. Then I came back and finished up at the University of Pennsylvania. Got out of there in June of '47 with a BA, and then I.
And then you mentioned that you started television by sweeping floors.
I got a job in television in 1949. Before it was even invented, I started in television. And went to work at WFIL-TV in Philadelphia, sweeping floors. And that's how you started. You could start in the mailroom or whatever.
You could have swept floors in a department store.
Yes, I could, but I liked the television business and pushed a dolly, became a sound man, a boom man, became a cameraman, stage manager on the floor. Then I became a director, and then I came to New York as a TV director.
So you did everything from the bottom up.
You work your way up the ladder. That was the way
Yes.
we started in the business, and that's how everybody started.
Yes, so how long did it take you to get to the top?
I never got to the top, but I got to, I left Philadelphia in 1953, came to New York at WABC, worked there for 3 years, left there in 1956, and then I went into the advertising end of the business with a couple of advertising agencies. Dancer, Fitzgerald, and Sample. And then I left there and went to Ogilvy and Mather, where David Ogilvy was the key guy. And that was great. Ogilvy was great fun, great people, nice creative place. The work was fun.
And your parents stayed in Philadelphia?
My parents stayed in Philadelphia, yes they did. They were glad to get rid of me. I came to New York, they stayed in Philadelphia. And
how do
I
they
continued,
feel?
I worked in I loved, people that started in television when I did, and then he loved the business.
How did they feel about you going to that field?
Into television?
Yes.
Well, they liked that. My father had been in the movie business
Really?
in Philadelphia. He was in the distribution end of the business, so I gravitated to that kind of business. And when I realized that television was out there, I just made...
You saw that it had a future, right?
It was big. It was terrific. I started in the business. The first show I ever worked on, I don't know if you ever heard of this guy, but was Paul Whiteman's TV Teen Club.
Paul Whiteman, yes.
Paul Whiteman was the king of jazz in the 20s, you know. I mean, he was a biggie.
Mm-hmm.
And he started the TV Teen Club on WFIL TV in Philadelphia, which was part of the American Broadcasting Company. And that was a network show, and he did it with his daughter, a beautiful girl whose name I forget now, but she was divine. She was about 20 years old at the time, and they both did the show together. And I started pushing the boom on that, pushing the dolly on that show. Then I became a cameraman, and it was great fun. That was great fun. That was my first real taste of network television.
And of course, you were married?
Well, I came to New York, met a beautiful young lady. We got married, had a beautiful daughter who now is married, has 2 grandchildren, and she's terrific. She's just a darling, darling, beautiful, beautiful girl. And she works on the Conan O'Brien TV show on NBC. She's been with it from the beginning, and she gravitated to TV
like
as her pop did. Yeah. I wanted to mention something which I think you might remember. When I was at WFIL TV in Philadelphia and I became a TV director, there was a radio disc jockey down there named Bob Horn. Mm-hmm. Bob Horn decided that he wanted to do his show on television. And he came to me, and he and I had become good friends, and he came to me and said, Lee, I'm going to do the radio show on television. I'm going to play records. I said, Bob, what are we going to do when you play a record? What's going to happen? I don't know. Let's see what happens. And that was the start of Bandstand, which later became the American Bandstand with Dick Clark.
Yes.
And as you remember, it became a big, big TV show.
That was very successful, yes.
I had left before Dick Clark took it over. I had left to come to New York. Bob Horn was still doing the show. But then I had left, and subsequently Dick Clark took the show over, and it became a huge hit. The kids from school used to stand in line outside the studio waiting to get in. It was a smash hit. And they danced, and you know the show.
And you started it all.
Well, we started the show, yeah. And it became a big network show when Dick Clark took it over.
Oh, yes.
I have already come to New York and was working in the city at ABC.
You have a lot of ideas. Every time you come in, you have a new idea. Let's do this, let's do that. So.
Well, I left New York and came out here. We had bought the house a long time ago, and I left New York and just simply came out here to live in the house. And I'm very lucky to be here. But I keep thinking of TV shows and TV formats, and that's how my little mind works. It gravitates toward sort of inventing formats for TV shows. None of them get on the air. I don't know what to do with them, but I have a lot of shows.
Well,
if you said to me, Lee, I'd love to put that show on the air, I'd say, ooh, that'd be great, Judy, let's do it.
Well, you have to air it out. We don't know about it unless you tell us.
I have I don't have them with me, but I have a show, a quiz show based on bingo, and it's terrific.
Oh.
And it would be great fun. And if anybody from the network is listening, I'd be happy to show it to you. Just call.
You give us a call.
Yeah, and a ton of other shows. I have
A lot of ideas how
a
to
sports show in real time, the quiz show that you could play right at the game itself while the game is going on, and a ton of stuff. A show called Broadway Audition.
You wanted to do a karaoke show here.
I
Whatever.
have an idea for
happened to that?
karaoke shows that I'd like to do with young kids from high school. Or from
Young kids are so busy.
Well, but it would be fun for them. They would get up and sing and do whatever they want to do, and they could also get training as cameramen and directors and things. It would be kind of a learning process for the young kids.
And you still can do that.
Based on a karaoke concept. And it would be great fun, and I think kids would like it. So there's another show out there, you network packagers.
Yes.
So it's ready to go. Ready to go.
So all these years you are with so many different people. Who was, would you say, was the most interesting character?
Oh, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. Most interesting character in the business. I worked with, when I was at
You're not going to say me.
I would, but present company has always accepted. You are an interesting character, to say the least. But I worked with, many years ago, I was doing a show at ABC. I think it was called Start Time. And the producer was a gentleman named George Scheck. George Scheck is the father of Barry Scheck, who became one of the lawyers in the, what was he in the O.J. Simpson trial, wasn't he? I think he was one of the lawyers who defended O.J. Simpson. But I worked with his pop many, many years ago. And that was a fun show. Connie Francis was on that show as a young, aspiring singer. That was fun. I did a show with Jane Pickens, who was a
Yes, I remember her.
old-time singer in her day. She was great fun. And the business was always a lot of fun.
Did you ever do any acting?
No, I only acted as a director.
Is it?
I pretended to be a director, and that's what I did. But I never did any serious acting. Although when I was in college, since you asked, I was in the Mask and Wig Club in Philadelphia at the University of Pennsylvania.
The Wig Club?
Mask and Wig was a big college drama group, like not the Whiff and Poofs, but like Hasty Pudding at Harvard.
Of course, everybody knows that.
Everybody knows Hasty Pudding, and everybody at that time, I think, knew Mask and Wig. And it was, we would put on a show every year, and only guys. There were no girls in it, and the guys played the part of girls, blah, blah, blah. Everybody was straight in it, but we played the part of girls. And in fact, I played in one of the shows, it was called Criss Crosses. It was a takeoff on Chris Columbus in Discovering America. And I played Pocahontas.
Oh my God.
As a growing girl. So
Yeah.
did I ever act? No, but I played Pocahontas in this.
That was not
in that play.
acting.
Yeah, it was great. Everything is great fun. I always had a good time at it, and no matter what it was. So all you people out there who want to get into television, just do it. Get in the business, start working at it for nothing, and you'll move and become famous.
If you like to be famous.
Yes.
And did you do any other capacity in the show? Like, did you ever write anything? Edit?
No,
anything?
I worked in the business of making TV commercials. I didn't write them, but I produced them.
And you edited?
I became what is known in the business as a producer rep. at a production company, and I used to call on advertising agencies and say, why don't you guys have commercials to do? Why don't you do them with our company? Because we had the best directors in the business. I said, you have some commercials out there for Chevrolet or Sears Roebuck or Kodak or whoever, we'll do them. It cost you money, but we'll be happy to do them for you. So that's how I kind of wound up. That was, I worked at that business for about 20 years until I just decided I had enough and left. And came out to lovely Amagansett to live. And that's where I live, and it's just, I'm thrilled to be here.
Do you still know any of the people that you have approached?
Oh, yeah. Still keep in contact with the guy that ran the place that I worked with. It was called EUE Screen Gems. At one point, we were a division of Columbia Pictures, and we made, we were one of the top commercial companies in the business. But I still talk to the guy that ran the company all the time, and he's busy at it.
So was it very, I hear that the advertising business is very stressful.
The advertising business is a very nervous business because you've always got the client down your throat. And no matter what kind of commercials you make or no matter what kind of copy you write, the client is always saying, geez, it could have been better. Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? You know, and they were always on your back. But it's all part of the business. You get used to it, and it's all F-U-N, fun. Truly.
F-U-N.
Truly.
Good, very good.
Anybody out there wants to get in the business, it's fun.
So what about this here in Long Island, here in Levittown, this LTV?
Here at LTV, also great fun. Terrific people here, and I'm lucky to have the time and the desire to direct your show, which is great fun for me, and that I can be doing that at this stage of my life and with you and just enjoying it. Just something I look forward to every week, coming in here, working with these things, working with Evan on the camera, and Bob and Paul on the back end of the business. Terrific people, and we just enjoy it. You work hard, but that's part of it. You like it. It's terrific.
So would you have like any suggestions for any future productions or?
Yeah. As I have a lot of shows that should be on the air. I always think they're as good or as bad as anything else that's on television.
Well, it always is. It's just how to bring it about. That's the trick.
Where I fall down is being able to sell these ideas, or being able to contact the people who would listen to me.
Who would listen to you.
And I say, here, I got a terrific show, bingo, da-da-da-da-da.
Do you have it developed? Do you have anything to show?
No.
Well, you have to
have
do
it
that
have
first.
them all on paper. I have scripts, formats, stuff. I don't have any sitcoms or anything like that, or soap operas or drama.
Maybe next year.
Maybe you'd like to sponsor one of these shows.
Okay.
Is that a good idea?
We'll have to try it out, like shoot one segment of it.
Okay.
So that's something to look forward to.
I have one show which I'll mention is called Can Do. And it's kind of aimed at minority kids to say, you can do it. It's an interview show with people who have become successful at whatever their jobs are or whatever their interests are, and say to the kids, look, he did it, she did it, you can do it. You just have to apply yourself, be diligent, study, work, do it, and you can succeed. It's not hard. You just have to apply yourself and do it. No drugs, no booze, no this, no that. Serious, hard work. And it's also fun. So just do it. Anyway, that's a show called Can Do.
Can Do.
And it's an interview show just to interview people who have become successful,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
overcoming all the odds that minority people face.
And it would be fun to do a quiz show. I love quiz shows.
Well, I have a couple of quiz shows that we can talk about, and we can figure out how to do that bingo thing. That would be an immediate hit. We would become network celebrities and big deals.
Well, I don't know if I could.
You could become Regis Philbin overnight. Oh no, that's wrong.
I don't know if I could write
You
all
could
the
become Martha Stewart.
autographs. Oh, I don't want to be Martha Stewart. No, I'm just going to be Judy Sleed. Yes, that's enough.
Okay. You do terrific at what you do.
Although I always tell people it's not easy to be Judy Sleed.
It's not easy to be Judy Sleed.
No,
you do it, you're terrific.
It is, yes. I enjoyed this show, and I met many, many different people, and mostly local. And I was just so happy to learn all about what they were doing. Now we are thinking about interviewing other people besides in the arts and show business. And if I'm going to do that, I may have to change the name of the show, which I don't know. It's just a talk so far, but it's not a big problem.
There's so many interesting people out here on the east end of the island, not only showbiz people, but they're artists, entrepreneurs, all kinds of people who have attained success and happiness out here in East Hampton, Montauk, Southampton, what have you. And it's terrific. It's terrific. And there are a lot of people, I'm sure, that would love to talk to you about themselves.
My show is airing here at the East End 3 times a week, and from Riverhead, it's also 3 times a week.
Oh, is it? It's on in Riverhead. Oh, that's terrific.
Yes, 3 times, but I can't remember. I know Tuesday afternoon at 4, and Saturday 1:30, but I don't know if it's AM or PM.
You could be the local Barbara Waters, interviewing people.
I could be the local Judy Sleed.
Analyzing their lives. That's right. That's right.
Yes. Okay, we come to the special feature of our show. It's a trivia question. You will see a picture of some old celebrities, and if you will write in, and you could identify those 2, we will have a day when I'm going to pick the names of the people who have the right identification, and that's going to be my next guest. We will do it, I think, the first show next year in January.
Next year is not too far away, is it?
No, when you say next year, it sounds like people, when I say, I'll see you next year, they look at me, well, how come such a long time? But it's only...
Today the 21st, so it's 10 days away, isn't it?
Yeah, less than 2 weeks. Unbelievable. I remember when they thought everything is going to crash when year 2000.
Yeah, that's right.
And now, we're still here. That's a miracle, isn't it?
It's terrific. It's terrific that we can all be in this place,
yes,
enjoying ourselves and
to adorn the studio.
Terrific. LTV is wonderful. They put on terrific shows, and it's excellent people, and it's just terrific fun.
It's a great place to be.
I want to thank you for letting me be with you today. I enjoyed it very much.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Thank you.
And I am so glad you agreed to be my guest.
Will I be a star after this appearance, do you think?
Well, get ready to sign a lot of autographs. Yes.
Are there people waiting out? I guess they're waiting outside, aren't they?
Well, yeah.
I can hear them now.
You could hear them now.
Yeah.
Well, just wait till it airs. It airs. Oh, then it's going to be a tremendous response.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'll have to get protection and everything. Oh, yes. Goodness. Let me know when.
Well, when you're going to air, I don't know if you're going to air next week or the week after, because some other people I talked to last week.
Put it on New Year's Eve. Nobody watches New Year's Eve. They're all out carousing.
Celebrating.
Yeah.
What are you going to do New Year's?
I do not know. I don't know. May go out and have a nice dinner somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to see your beautiful daughter, Paula?
I might see her this weekend or New Year's weekend. I don't know. That strike in New York is making everybody kind of nuts, so I don't know whether I'm going to go in.
She lives in New York?
She lives over in New Jersey, so obviously I would have to go through New York to get there. And I'm not sure I'm ready.
I don't think you have to.
Well, I would take the jitney or the train in and then transfer to a bus.
You could fly.
I could fly. I could fly.
Yes.
I also sing, "Fly me to the moon, boo-da-ba-ba-ba."
I forgot to ask you if you
I
sang.
sang. Yeah, you didn't know that that's what I did.
You probably cut some CDs and you held back the information.
Do a lot of singing, particularly in the shower.
Yeah, I do a lot of singing.
Which is really as bad as it can be.
Mm-hmm.
But I have nothing else to do, you know.
I love to sing. You know, it's good. If you sing a lot, you reduce it. It gets rid of some calories. Did you know that?
Is that right?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah?
Yes, you have to keep singing and singing.
You could lose weight?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Calories.
I didn't know that.
Well, where have you been living?
Well, I'm here, and they tell me I should exercise to lose weight, but if you tell me I should sing, I'd rather sing than exercise. Do you want me to sing Fly Me to the Moon again?
Well, wait a minute.
Or do you want me to stop?
First, I want to say goodbye, everybody. I wave to them. Would you mind waving?
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching. I hope you've all had a good time. I've had a wonderful time. Thank you so much, Judy.
Okay, let's sing.
Fly me to the moon. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. So that's the karaoke idea.
Yes, but I don't know the words to it. You have to flash the words.
I don't know them either. Fly me to the moon.
That's all I know. Fly me to the moon. Fly me to the moon. Da-da-da-dum. Bum, bum.
Very good. Very good.
Do I rate?
I did. My favorite song was "Come On Along and Listen to the Lullaby of Broadway, the hip hooray and ballyhoo, the lullaby of Broadway.